Hello everyone, welcome to Grammar Groove English, where you'll be learning English grammar, vocabulary and literary texts from your syllabus. Today, we will be discussing the poem The Laburnum Top that is in your CBSE Class 11 syllabus. So this poem, The Laburnum Top, is written by Ted Hughes. In this poem, we see a tree. It is called the laburnum tree. In Hindi, the laburnum tree is known as the amalthus tree. So, in this laburnum tree, we will see a family of birds. This poem is about the relationship between the laburnum tree and a goldfinch bird that lives in the tree. Let's take a look at the poem first so that we can understand what it is trying to say. The laburnum top. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So in the first stanza, there is a description of the laburnum tree. Okay, the laburnum top is silent, therefore the top of the tree is silent. The tree top has no sign of life in it. Okay, it is silent, it is still, it is not moving. In the afternoon yellow September sunlight. So we see that it is the month of September and it is the afternoon time. And we have the yellow sunlight. A few leaves yellowing. And the leaves of the tree are also yellow in color. All its seeds fallen. So we see that yellow is a dominant color in the first stanza of the poem because it is describing the season of autumn. Okay. And all the seeds of the tree has fallen. The poet has used the word yellow to describe the leaves and the sunlight. Yellow here symbolizes silence and beauty. All throughout the poem, we will see that yellow is a dominant color. Now, we see that the treetop is silent, it is still, there is no movement, no sign of life, till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup. So now a bird comes, it is a goldfinch bird. It comes and sits on top of the tree and it gives out a twitching chirrup. Twitching means a sudden movement or a jerking movement. Okay. So the bird swiftly comes and sits on the branch of the tree and it makes a high-pitched noise. It is called a chirrup. A suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. So as soon as the bird sits on a branch, there is a suddenness, a startlement. Why? Because till now the tree was death-like, it was silent, it had no movement. Now that the bird has come to sit on top of the tree, we see a sudden movement. And the movement is causing a startlement, a sudden shock. The goldfinch bird. It is a small migratory bird and it is yellow in color. Its feathers are yellow. Okay, so again we see the color yellow is very dominant in the poem. It is there all throughout in the poem. And the feathers of the goldfinch bird are yellow in color, but it has a black stripe on its head. That's how we can distinguish the goldfinch. Then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and the machine starts up. And in the next line, we see that the bird is sleek as a lizard. So the movement of the bird is very smooth. Very smoothly, very swiftly, it enters the thickness of the tree like a lizard. Its actions resemble that of a lizard. Okay, and the bird is very alert and its movement is very abrupt. Abrupt means rapid, very fast. So the bird is moving very fast. She is entering the thickness very fast. Okay. And a machine starts up. So as soon as she enters the thickness, it is as if a machine starts up inside the thickness of the tree. Now, is there really a machine here? No, not really. We will see what it actually is. And a machine starts up of chitterlings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Now, as soon as the bird is going inside the thickness of the tree, there is a tremor of wings and a lot of noise made by other birds. Who are these other birds? They are the babies of this goldfinch. Okay, they are the baby birds. This goldfinch has built a nest. In her nest, there are babies, baby birds. Okay, and because the mother has come back to them, those babies, they are making noise. They are happy that their mother has come back, so they are making a lot of sound. Okay, tremor of wings. and they are also shaking their wings, and it is causing a tremor or a vibration. So it is as if the branch of the tree is vibrating, the top part of the laburnum tree is vibrating due to the tremor of the baby bird's wings. And trillings. Trillings mean to produce a chirruping sound. So the birds are making noise, and those are called trillings. And because of that, the whole tree trembles and thrills. Now it is as if the tree has come alive and it is trembling, it is shaking due to an excitement. Thrills means a sudden feeling of excitement. So it is as if the tree is feeling some type of excitement because of the goldfinch. Can you tell me which figure of speech has been used here? The whole tree trembles and thrills? If you can, let me know in the comments and I will check your answers, okay? Now, up until this point, we see two scenarios. Two opposite scenarios has been played out in front of us. So in the first stanza, the tree was death-like, silent. It had no life in it. Okay, the laburnum top was silent. But in the next stanza, we see that the goldfinch bird has come. She and her family are making a lot of noise, lot of movement, and therefore the tree has come alive. So these are two opposite scenarios that we see till now. Alright? So here we can see a relationship between the tree and the goldfinch. The tree is giving shelter to the bird and her young ones, and in return, the bird is giving life to the tree. Now this part is very important for us to understand. Alright. It is the engine of her family. She stokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. It is the engine of her family. What is the engine of her family? The goldfinch bird, the mother bird, is the engine of her family. Okay. Previously, her babies were sleeping. They were not making any sound when the mother wasn't around. As soon as the goldfinch comes, they wake up from their slumber. They all start to make noise. So it is as if the goldfinch is an engine and the baby birds are a machine, and the goldfinch bird, that is the engine, is starting the machine. She stokes it full. That means the goldfinch feeds her babies. That's how she adds fuel. Then flirts out to a branch end. And after feeding her babies, she again swiftly moves on to a branch end. Okay, so she again moves out to the end of the branch, showing her barred face identity mask. And as soon as she moves out, we can now see her face. Before, she had entered the thickness of the top and therefore she was concealed. Her face was covered. We could not distinguish her from the yellow flowers of the trees. Okay. The goldfinch bird is a yellow colored bird. And as I've said before, the laburnum tree, it is also yellow in color. The leaves are yellow. The flowers of the tree are also yellow. And we have the yellow sunlight. So because of that, we cannot distinguish. We cannot figure out where actually the goldfinch is. Okay. She is hiding amongst all the yellow leaves. But now that she has come out to the end of the branch, we can now see her face. On her face, there is a black stripe. Okay, her barred face. Barred as in stripy. So her face has a stripe. And that black spot or that black stripe is acting as her identity mask. So, because of that black stripe, we can distinguish that bird from the tree. We can find out where the bird is. So because of that black stripe, we can identify the bird. So it is working as its identity mask. Then with eerie delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite and the laburnum subsides to empty. And after that, she makes a strange sound. Okay, eerie means weird or strange or creepy. So she makes a creepy or strange sound. A delicate whistle chirrup, and the sound is very delicate, very soft. So she makes a strange yet a very delicate or soft, almost whisper-like chirrup. A whistle chirrup means a delicate chirping sound. She launches away towards the infinite. And after that, she again launches away, as in flies away, towards the infinite. The infinite meaning the sky. So she again flies away in the sky, and the laburnum subsides to empty. So again, as soon as the bird goes away, the laburnum top, the tree, again becomes empty, again becomes death-like. Okay, as soon as the bird goes away, the baby birds, her young ones, they fall silent. Therefore, the tree also falls silent. it again becomes death-like. Did you understand the poem? It deals with the relationship between the goldfinch bird and the laburnum tree. Now, the literary devices that have been used in the poem are alliteration, simile, metaphor, personification, transferred epithet, and onomatopoeia. Alliteration. It is the repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. Okay. Consecutive as in the words that come one after another. Okay. The words that sit together, they sit side by side, and those consecutive words, they begin with the same consonant sound or consonant letter. So when the words that begin with the same consonant sound or letter sit together, they sit very closely, that is called alliteration. Here we see September sunlight. Alright, in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. So, September sunlight, they both start with the consonant letter S. So, this is a case of alliteration. And then in the line, the whole tree trembles and thrills. Here, the whole tree trembles. Tree trembles. They both begin with the consonant letter T, and this is another case of alliteration. Next, we have simile. A simile is an explicit comparison between two things using like or as. So, when two things are given to us and those things, they have an explicit comparison between them. When we draw an explicit or outward comparison between two things, it is called a simile. And in case of a simile, we will see the words like or as in the phrase, such as sleek as a lizard. This is an example of simile in the poem. Sleek as a lizard. So, the bird, the goldfinch, is as sleek as a lizard. The bird's movements are as smooth as that of the lizards. So, we see the word as in this phrase, and an explicit comparison has been made. The bird's movement has been compared to a lizard's movement. Okay. Both their movements are really smooth, really sleek. So that's why this is an explicit comparison. This is an outward comparison. We can see it. Okay. So this is a simile. Next we have metaphor. A metaphor is an indirect comparison. Simile is a direct comparison, whereas a metaphor is an indirect comparison. Okay. There are no explicit similarities between two things, but there is an inward comparison and implicit comparison. Okay, in case of a metaphor, there is no physical similarity between the two things that are compared, but we can figure out an inward comparison. It is an indirect comparison. Okay. Here, she enters the thickness and the machine starts up. A machine starts up. Okay. Here the baby birds are compared to a machine. They start making noise. Their wings start to shake, which causes a machine-like vibration, and it feels as if a machine has been started. The noise and the vibration combined, they act like a machine. It feels as if there is a machine. So here the baby birds, the babies of the goldfinch bird, they have been compared to a machine. So this is an inward comparison. This is an indirect comparison. A baby bird that does not have a physical similarity with a machine looks very different and a bird looks very different. Okay, they have no physical similarity between them, but the way the birds act, the way the birds make noise and shake their wings, which causes vibrations, make us feel that there is a machine on that tree, that a machine has started. Here the noise created by the movement of the birds is compared to the machine's noise. Next, another metaphor is, it is the engine of our family. Who is the engine of our family? The goldfinch bird. A goldfinch doesn't have any physical similarity with an engine, but it is an inward comparison. It is an indirect comparison. The bird is compared to an engine as she is the provider of her family, because a machine cannot work without an engine, and in the same way, her family, her babies cannot survive without the goldfinch. The way she feeds her baby birds make us feel as if she is the engine of the machine. Next, we have personification. When we personify inanimate objects or elements of nature, it is called personification. When we attribute human qualities to inanimate objects or non-humans, it is called personification. The whole tree trembles and thrills. The tree trembles means the tree shakes, and thrills as in excitement. So the tree is feeling excitement and therefore it is shaking. Now, can a tree really feel excitement? Feeling excited, feeling angry, feeling fear, these are all things that only a person can do. A tree cannot feel things. Okay, he has given human qualities to the laburnum tree that, like any other human, the tree is feeling excited by the arrival of the goldfinch bird and it is shaking due to the excitement. So this is a case of personification. Is it clear? Next, we have transferred epithet. Epithet means an adjective, and transferred epithet is a figure of speech that is formed by transferring an epithet, an adjective, from the noun it is meant to describe to another noun. So maybe you have an adjective that describes a noun. Okay, but when we take that adjective, we remove it from that noun and we transfer it to some other noun, then it is called transferred epithet. We transferred the adjective from one noun to another. That is called transferred epithet. Here we see transferred epithet in the line, her barred face identity mask. The laburnum tree has yellow flowers that fall like bars, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the black stripe on her face looks like she is wearing a mask. So, the figure of speech used here is transferred epithet. Barred is actually an adjective for the flowers and it has been transferred from there and applied to the bird. Lastly, we have onomatopoeia. It is a type of word that resembles or suggests or imitates a sound that it describes. So, all the words that describe a sound, any type of sound, are called onomatopoeia. So, that means onomatopoeia includes animal or bird noises. So, all the noise that the birds make, such as trillings, chitterings, chirrup, whistle chirrup, etc., are examples of onomatopoeia. So, that's it for today's class. If you have any further queries, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you'd like to see more such videos, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you soon. Till then, take care.